What's up, Kings Nation? Zavi here, and today I'm bringing you a new series on the channel. And as you can probably tell from the title, we're gonna start doing NFL predictions. I'm gonna post these every Wednesday, and also add on to the predictions. I might also add who to start or who I think you should start if you have them or not. So let's go ahead and start this off. So we're gonna go ahead and get the easy predictions out the way. Like this Thursday night game, which is an easy W for the Ravens. Just like this Monday night game, which is an easy W for the Giants. Another easy game on here, I would say, is the Chiefs versus the Panthers, even though some people would disagree. I say that's an easy game. And also this 49ers versus the Cardinals. And I'm going to go ahead and explain why. So, the Ravens versus the Browns. Even though I think the Browns have a chance of winning this as their first win of the season, I'm going to go ahead and go on the flip side of that. Since the Browns are 0-8 and haven't seemed to been able to get their offense together as they have the 32nd offense in the NFL, I'm going to go ahead and give that to the Ravens because the Ravens actually have a decent defense. The reason why I say the Chiefs versus the Panthers is an easy game, even though the Panthers coming off of a win. I forgot who they played. I think they played the Rams. The Rams really don't have an offense like the Chiefs do. And the Panthers barely won that game. So I don't think they're going to be able to stop the Chiefs offense. And also, I recommend if you have Travis Kelce, I recommend that you start him because he's going to have a good game if he don't get ejected. Now, the 49ers versus Cardinals games, some people say this is a difficult choice. I say it's not because the 49ers, same thing as the Browns, haven't really got their offense together, barely have a defense. So, I'm going to go ahead and say the Cardinals win this game by a huge margin. And also, if you have David Johnson, I would definitely start him against the 49ers. Definitely. Now, the last game that I said was an easy choice is the Bengals versus the Giants. And this is obvious because the same thing for the Bengals. The Bengals got rid of their wide receiver depth, and they haven't been clicking their running back situation. They just haven't been clicking. And their defense, I think they still have a good defense, but their offense just isn't producing anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Giants for this game. Easily. So now let's get it to this Texans versus the Jaguars. Now, I'm gonna pick the Texans over the Jags. Even though I say this is going to be a close game, but the Texans win by at least 10 points. At least 10 points. And the reason is because Blake Bortles has been tripping lately. I think he's like throwing a pick in each of his last 3 games or something like that. That's why Allen Robinson is mad. So I think the Texans take that game pretty, I don't want to say easily, but pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Close or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, Texans for that game. Now, the Broncos versus the Saints, even though I hate to do this because I want the Chargers to have a playoff berth, I'm going to have to take the Broncos on this. Reasons why is because the Broncos have a top 5 defense. Saints have a top 5 offense. Saints have a below average defense. The Broncos have a, I want to say, average offense. And the Saints doesn't have the corners to hold Demarius and Emmanuel. So if you have those two, I recommend you start one of them. If you want, you can start both of them, but I say at least one of them. And the only 2 people that the Saints have is Michael Thomas and Brandon Cooks. And I say Aqib Talib will not be playing the game, but I think Bradley Roby and Chris Harris Jr. will do a decent job of holding Cooks and Michael Thomas. So that shuts down their offense. But as always, if you have Drew Brees as your quarterback, you're gonna score. So I say the game is gonna be close, and the Broncos win by 4 or 3 points. 4 or 3 points. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Now, the Rams versus the Jets. This is the battle of no fucking offense. None at all. But, the Jets have a QB situation going on right now. Ryan Fitzpatrick has an injury, but he's still trying to play. If he doesn't play, then that means they would have to start the rookie that they drafted this year. And for the Rams defense is better than the Jets defense. And I believe that the Jets QB situation will stop them from being able to win the game. That's what I want to say. And also, I want to say that the Rams will click their offense a little bit. As you seen when they played the Panthers, they almost won that game. They lost by 3. So I'm going to have to take the Rams on this one. And I say that the Rams win by 10 or more points. 10 or more points. So this next game, Falcons versus the Eagles. Some people would say this is a hard decision, but I don't think it is. I'm going to take the Falcons. The reason for that, the Eagles may have a top defense, but that's only because their D-line gets pressure. And lately, Matt Ryan and Julio, that duo has just been killing everyone. It even killed the Chargers. We almost lost that game, but we won it. But that duo has been killing everyone, which is why Matt Ryan is leading in passing yards. And I don't think the Eagles will be able to stop Julio. So, and if you want, I say you could start Julio. But he's like, I say start him as your flex. Don't start him as like one of your primary receivers. Start him as your flex. And the Eagles, certainly, their offense is decent. But I don't think they have enough offensive power to win against the Falcons. And I say the Falcons win by 10 or more. 10 or more. Now, the Bears versus the Bucks, this is a hard decision because both teams are decent all around. But I'm going to have to go with the Bucks just because I think they have more to play for. I'm not sure. But there's really no particular reason. This one could actually be a split. So, yeah, I'm going to have to take the Bucks in this game because I don't know if Jay Cutler started. He probably is. But their offense has been struggling a little bit. And so, I'm just going to have to take the Buccaneers in this game. Now, the Vikings versus the Redskins. I'm going to go ahead and take the Redskins. Reason for this is the Vikings are on a 3-game losing streak. I want to say they've been on a downfall, and I don't think this is the week they pick it back up. I think next week, if they don't have a bye week, will be the week they pick it up, depending on who they play. I don't know yet. But I say the Redskins win this game by 5 or less. That's what I want to say. The Redskins will win this game. Now, the Packers versus the Titans. Again, another team that's been on the downfall. The Packers. Now, I think the Packers have one of the... So, the Packers versus the Titans. The team I'll pick here is the Titans. Obviously. Because the Packers have been on the downfall, and I don't think A-Rod gets his act together this week, especially with no run game. And I think the Titans will do a decent job of covering Jordan Reed. I said Jordan Reed. I meant to say Jordy Nelson. I think they'll do a decent job of covering Jordy Nelson. And Yeah, that's the reason why I picked them. Now, the Dolphins versus the Chargers. Call me biased, call me whatever you want. But, as a Charger fan right here, I say we take that fucking dub like it's fucking cake. And for those of you that have fucking Ajayi, I say you sit his ass down because the Chargers are not gonna allow no yards against him. The number two back leading in rushing yards, which played for the Titans, the Chargers held DeMarco Murray to, I want to say, less than 50 yards. I want to say that. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but I know he didn't have just a monstrous game against us. So that's why I say the Chargers win this game, because their defense has been balling out lately. Now, they have been struggling on offense, but not struggling to where the Dolphins will stop them. And I also say, if Hunter Henry plays this game, I say you start Hunter Henry and Tyrell Williams. And I also say you could start Melvin, because Melvin has been showing his breakthrough progress, whatever you want to call it. Now, so that's over with that game. Now, the Cowboys versus the Steelers. This is going to be my upset of the week. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Steelers on this one. The reason for this is because Big Ben came back last week, lost, and they still have a chance to win the division. And I think this is going to be that L that wakes the Cowboys up and makes them realize that they can actually lose and prepare them for the playoffs. And I think Big Ben is going to come in this game with a vengeance. Also, I think Le'Veon Bell is going to come in this game with a vengeance. So, I'm going to have to take the Steelers, and I'm going to say this is my upset of the week. Now, the Seahawks versus Patriots game, a rematch of Super Bowl 49. I'm going to have to say, obviously, the hot Patriots are going to win this game. For the simple fact, Seahawks may have a top 5 defense, but they're playing with a hurt. Well, I don't want to say hurt, but how do I want to say this? You know what? I'm just gonna say hurt. A hurt Russell Wilson, and also I think the Patriots defense will lock down the Seahawks receivers just enough to win the game. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a close game. Also, the Cowboys versus Steelers game, I expect that to be close too. But this is my predictions for the week. I'm going to draw a U here because this is my upset of the week. And pretty much that's it. So next week we're going to come back, see what my record is. Hopefully we're positive, unlike some of these teams. But as always, I hope this series will help you guys. Peace.